Hello and welcome. Managing service requests manually often leads to delays, miscommunication, and revenue leakage. In this video, I'll show you how NxGen Suite streamlines your entire service lifecycle, starting from customer complaint to final billing in one seamless flow. So after you log in into your system, this is your dashboard of the landing page. Here we have a left menu. Under this left menu, you will have the section called FSM or Field Service Management. So before we begin, let's quickly look like how easy it is to configure your business essentials like adding assets, services, products or parts and taxes. So let's start with taxes. What are the tax configuration you have for your particular business? You can click on create tax. You have to enter the tax name and tax percentage. So it will reflect all over your business, like the invoice and everything. So once we configure the tax, we'll go to the product or parts. Under products and parts, this you can see the what are the list of products you have. Similarly, if you want to add a new product, you can click on create product. Here you have to enter the product name, product details, item code, unit of measure. You can select from the drop down and the unit cost and submit it. So after successful submission, that product will be added. Similarly, like what are the service you are providing to the customer, you can add it here. This is the option called create service. Once you click create service, you have to enter the service title, service details you have to provide. What is the service unit type? You have to select from the drop down, the rate, what is the service code. If you have any particular tax to finish that service, you can add it here and submit. Like this, the service will be added. And if you are like selling the products and you want to add that asset to a particular customer, like you can simply create asset. Here we have an option called asset tag ID. You have to enter the asset name, you have to enter, and customer name you can select from the drop down to whom you sold that particular asset. So what is the benefit? Like once you select that particular customer and you want to tag that particular customer to the asset, so what will happen? The sales order, the date of purchase and the warranty, site installation date, everything will be captured. So whenever that particular customer called for a service, you can simply like create a service request and select that particular asset which was linked to the particular customer. So let's start with the flow. Like once you receive the call or a complaint from the customer, how the field service management will work. So let's say you receive a complaint from a customer and you want to log a service request. So you have to click on create service request. Here you have to type the request title, the service priority you have to select, what is the due date, the customer name you have to select from the drop down. Once you select the customer name, the customer phone, email ID, billing, shipping address, everything will be auto-populated. And if that customer has a particular linked asset, you can select from the drop down. The preferred service date you have to enter. Similarly, the preferred time slot you can select from the drop down. Then what is the service that particular customer wants? You can add the service name from the drop down, the quantity, the price, and everything will be auto captured. You have to select the tax which was configured earlier, and similarly you can click on submit. Like this, the service request will be created. Once the service request will be created, you have to convert that service request into estimate. So what is the process? Let's say this is a new service request which was created. So you can simply click on the option called convert to estimate. So once you click on convert to estimate, this particular service request will be converted into estimate. So this is the details. So what you have to do, only estimate valid till you have to select, everything will be captured over here. Then the terms and condition, like for how long that estimate will be valid, and you can submit it. Once the estimate is created, you have to send that particular estimate to the customer. So what is the process? You have to simply select the estimate. Here you can see the estimate title, the estimate information, the contact information, what is the service that particular customer wants, everything will be captured. Here we have an option called view PDF. Once you click on view PDF, here is the option called send. Once you click on send email, that particular customer's mail ID you have to enter, and that particular estimate will be shared to the customer. Customer has to approve the estimate. Once the estimate is approved, you can see the status over here. The estimate is approved. What is the next step? You have to convert that particular estimate into work order. So let's say I click on convert to work order. Here, what is the order title? What is the priority? Let's say I'm selecting. What is the due date? You can select, and the service type you can select. What is the linked asset? What is the available date? Preferred time slot. Let's say I'm selecting the sibling notes. Everything you can select and submit it. Like this, the work order will be created. So once you go to work order, you can see this is the work order is created. So here, this is the option called create appointment. So you are like creating a or scheduling a appointment that particular customer with one of your service engineer. So let's say here is the option called assign to select field technician. I can select that particular who are the service engineer like to provide services to that customer. I can select the service engineer from the drop down. The start date I can select, the end date I can select, what is the start time based on customer request I can select, what is the end time, like how long that service will take place I can select and submit it. So once I created the appointment, that particular appointment will be assigned to that service engineer. So here you can see this is a new appointment is created. If I click on view, you can see appointment details. This is a new one to whom also this appointment was assigned to. You can see it here, the specialist activity. Once you start the appointment, like the servicing, after getting the notification from the mobile, he or she can start the servicing. So once the appointment is finished, so during the appointment, if you see the what is the status, you can see here in progress. What are the appointments are finished? You can see the status here as completed. So once the appointment is completed, you can get the invoice for that particular work order. So what I can do, I can simply go to the invoice section. Under invoice, I can select the create invoice. So once I click create invoice, what is the work order? I have to select. Then the invoice date I have to enter, the due date, what is the service was performed for that particular, everything will be captured here and I can see. So click on submit. Once I click on submit, the invoice will be generated. So based on the invoice, the customer will pay to the service engineer or they can pay online. Let's say the payment details they have received, invoice number also it is mentioned over here, what the payment receipt will be shared to the customer. So this is the complete flow, like starting from getting a complaint from customer to finish that particular job, creating the invoice and receiving the payment. So NxGen Suite does not just manage service, it transfers into a predictable and scalable system. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you like this. So we'll see you in next video. Thank you.